Greetings and welcome to another impressions video here at Words About Games, and today we're going to be looking at Journey to the Savage Planet. Journey to the Savage Planet is an exploration adventure game where you play as an explorer sent to an alien world to survey it and see if it would be fit for human colonization. Despite working for the fourth best interstellar exploration company on Earth, budget cutbacks have meant that you'd be sent to ARY-26 with no equipment and no fuel for the return journey, so you'll need to scavenge to create gear you'll need to survive and thrive on the alien world. This game isn't quite what I was expecting. I've only really had limited exposure to Savage Planet in the run-up to its release. I've seen it mentioned a few times on various gaming websites, and I played a quick demo of it at EGX last year, though the demo dropped me into the game partway in, and I had no real idea what to do. When it launched, it was the colourful art style and charming creature design that got me to decide to sit down and sink some time into the game. And I'm glad I did, because Journey to the Savage Planet has been a very pleasant surprise. The biggest standout for me is how much the game made me laugh. Savage Planet has a razor-sharp sense of humour, from the entire premise of being blasted off into space by the fourth best interstellar exploration company to the sociopathic AI accompanying you on your journey, the darkly hilarious ads that play when you return to your ship, and the situations that you often find yourself in. It's a game where even the descriptions of things can have you in stitches if you're paying attention to them. Savage Planet isn't just amusing, it's genuinely laugh-out-loud funny. And when this humour is combined with how charming the world is, it'll easily win you over within minutes of starting a playthrough. Just don't feed the pufferbirds too much glob. It's funny watching them fart out carbon, a precious resource, but it's not so cute if you overfeed them. But while this charm and humour set a fantastic tone for your adventure, the actual meat of the game is the exploration and the science that you've been assigned by your taskmasters. You begin the game stepping out of your busted up spaceship with no equipment and absolutely no idea what's awaits you on ARY-26. As you take your first tentative steps into this alien world, guided by the disembodied voice of your ship's AI and your overarching mission, the world slowly opens up before you. Exploring ARY-26 is really satisfying. For starters, the world itself is bright, colourful, and gorgeous, packed with all sorts of weird alien creatures, flora, and fauna. Just seeing all of the quirky sights of ARY-26 feels like a good enough reason to wander the planet, regardless of any missions you may be trying to complete. Typhoon Studios have really let their imaginations go in creating the world of Savage Planet, and it shines throughout the entirety of the game. But exploration also comes with a really satisfying core gameplay loop. As you traverse the first few areas of ARY-26, you'll find a great many areas that you can't access right away, needing new equipment and upgrades to reach them, which you'll find and unlock as you explore. New upgrades are really well spaced out, and Savage Planet feels like it's almost constantly rewarding a player with a whole new way to interact with its world. Upgrades are inventive and tie really well into the environment, such as upgraded gloves that let you hold the fruits off of bomb plants rather than have them explode in your hand after a few seconds. Crafting is also mercifully simple. Blueprints are unlocked as you progress, either by simply continuing to play the game or by completing various science experiments that rank up your field explorer rank, and the materials you need to craft them are plentiful and fairly easy to find if you stray off the beaten path even a little. Savage Planet is an exploration game where you're actually rewarded for exploring and getting lost in its world. I know that may sound like a given, but I've played plenty of games that feature a heavy focus on exploration, where turning left instead of right never feels worth it. Here, no matter which direction you head, the chances are you'll see something worth finding. Everything you can find feeds back into the gameplay loop in some way, whether it's new upgrades, more crafting materials, orange goo to upgrade your health and stamina, or more. Nothing you do ever feels like a waste of time or a developer attempting to pad out the runtime of their game. While it's a lot of fun to explore and uncover every secret the game has to offer, Savage Planet isn't perfect. Combat is fairly basic and feels almost like an afterthought, almost like it was added because Typhoon Studios felt obligated to put it in the game. There's nothing particularly wrong with it, but it lacks any sort of weight and stands in stark contrast to how enjoyable the rest of the game is. It's a feeling that becomes more apparent as you venture further into the game and enemy encounters become more complex. And while the humour and exploration are two big reasons why Savage Planet is a delight, the core narrative is pretty forgettable. There are plenty of amusing moments to be found in dialogue with your AI companion and via the video messages you receive from the CEO of the company you work for, but the story as a whole and the central mystery that drives it isn't as fleshed out as it could have been. Neither of these issues do much to drag the game down, however. Journey to the Savage Planet gives you a wonderful world that you'll happily explore just to see what weird new alien thing you'll encounter next. Even if the combat is a bit dull and the story is a bit threadbare, these niggles will barely register as you blast around the planet, cataloguing strange new alien life forms and eating another pile of alien goo that helps you run a bit longer. Despite going into the game a little trepidatiously, I've been pleasantly surprised by how engaging and hilarious it is. It's definitely a game that's worth checking out. Thanks very much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it or found it useful, consider sticking around here at Words About Games. Our content includes review impressions of games big and small, a weekly podcast dedicated to discussing the happenings in and around the games industry, weekly opinion videos, reactions, debate-driven top 5 and top 10 lists, a regular Hall of Fame series where we discuss our favourite games, and indie game spotlights. We also stream every Friday and Saturday at twitch.tv/wordsaboutgames. Most importantly, have a brilliant day.